Hello, hello, welcome in. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Journey Rose. Tonight I will be collaborating with Hope, and we're going to be doing some readings together. I'm just waiting for her to join the live. Just waiting on her to join us. Hi, Hope.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well, yeah.
I think I need to put my headphones on
Okay.
so I can hear you.
Awesome. Welcome in, everyone. We're just getting ready to
Hold on.
start. Just be a minute. This is our first of many going live together and doing readings together. So it's exciting.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so I don't know why my title is like this. 1 second. That's okay. It doesn't matter.
Could it be because you've joined my live and not the other way around?
So something interesting. I went to my other page so I could observe the live from my phone. And it said on my other page, my newest follower, oh my lord, my newest follower was Arcturus Galaxian.
Definitely a synchronicity, what we were just talking about. 100%.
Right. I was like,
deep
okay.
With the Arcturian energy tonight then.
Yeah, they're more than welcome to assist.
With a lot of energy tonight.
So
so for those that don't know me, my name is Journey and this is Hope, and together we're Journey of Hope. And Spirit gave me that to say, and I absolutely love the ring of it.
And I'm so excited to be on this journey with you.
And you. And everyone else that's watching.
So, do you have anyone on your live?
There's 6 people watching right now.
Okay,
Thank you for liking the live. I really appreciate it, guys. We'll get started in a second. We're going to go totally with the flow and just see what Spirit has in store tonight. But we are both very powerful energy workers and readers, and we have been doing this multiple lifetimes, and we have been lucky enough to connect again in this life and have been so guided to work together in this way. So it is very, very exciting to stand in this path together and see what Spirit has in store in this life when we work together.
So what I'm going to have you do is start, and then I'm going to tap in with what comes through on my end. That way we kind of have a dual flow, since we're just, this is our first time doing this live together. So I'm on your live, and what I'm gonna do is hook this up, but I'm gonna let you start, and then I'll tap in.
Okay. So I am going to start with a collective message, and I feel like you hope are going to receive. So it's like me going first and then you continuing, and then we bounce off each other. That's how Spirit is showing me that we're going to do this, okay?
Okay.
So, Spirit guides, divine beings, angels of the highest light and the highest truth, Creator, Divine Mother and Father. What message does the collective need to know at this time? What do they need to know? You're paving the way for newness. You've left the old behind you, and it's taken some really, really hard work. For a while, it's like life had you stuck in this really thick sludge, the cement, and you tried to break free for so long, but your feet wouldn't budge. And the world came tumbling down around you, and you knew that this place in your life wasn't where you needed to be. You knew that there was more. You knew that you was meant for more, and you tried to move forward, but you felt like a hamster on its wheel, just kept turning and not moving anywhere. And you got angry, and you blamed yourself, and you hurt yourself with your words. And it sent, whoever this is resonating with, it sent you into a deep depression within yourself. And I know that's not what you like to call it, but that's exactly what it was. It's like you felt broken. You felt that you had been swallowed up. But what the universe is telling you right now, even that was important too. You had to get to that point to allow yourself this breakthrough so that you could come back, but not back as the person that you used to be, but back into something so much greater than you thought was capable. And you're not quite, it's like Spirit is showing me like a seed that was planted deep in the soil, and there was no sunlight. It felt like there was no light, and you couldn't see time passing by because you couldn't see the sun passing. All you saw was the darkness around you and being held down by this soil, and you thought that you were, it's like being buried. I know a seed is being buried. You hadn't been buried, you had been planted. Life needed to get you in that soil so you would finally face the things that aren't working for you, because the divine has a different plan for you. And you've always known this from the moment you were born. You've always been so gifted and knew that you didn't fit in here for a reason. But because you look to other people to be your guide in this life, and you are meant to be your own guide, you lost your way because you was living in their reality and not your own. And it's like life got to a point where it had to pile on top of you to get you to stop, because you was carrying everything and everyone on your shoulders. So life needed to plant you. And I'm hearing, how else could you grow? How else could you change? How else could you have been reborn? And it doesn't feel like you are fully reborn yet, but you are well on your way. You are further along on your journey than what you realize. You are further into the thick of this rebirth than it seems. And this is your sign. to restore your hope in yourself and the process, and to know that even the downtime, even the dark time where you felt like you was buried by life, that was part of this transformation too. And I'm not saying that what happened to you was okay. I'm not saying that you should forgive the things that happened to you. But you need to know very, very deeply that there was a purpose. And even this stage in your life has a purpose too. And I'm hearing, don't you know that we are all around you? This is your spirit team, your loved ones in spirit. We are all around you. We are giving you love. We are nourishing you. We are trying to gently guide you. But listen to the rhythm of your own heart, and it will guide you where you need to go. That's them trying to communicate with you. Handing it over to you, Hope. Oh, with that, it says, trying to reconnect. We'll just give her a minute.
Yeah, my laptop was frozen for a second.
Okay.
It's the energy. Hi, Truth. Thank you. Oops. So, to speak on that specific message, when you're in the place that feels so dense and dark, and you feel like you can't really see your way out, don't lose hope, because it can be really easy to feel like it's just always going to be that way, especially when every time you start to see the light at the end of the tunnel and you feel like you're right there and you have a glimmer and a moment of something that feels better than what it has been. And then it feels like it gets ripped away time and time again. More bad news, more stress, more trauma, more chaos. Your hope is what is going to lead you eventually, if you stay strong and steadfast in it, to the moments that this life has been leading you towards, which is the beauty and the love and the happiness, the healing and the peace. But if you lose sight of hope in the process, you're not going to reach where you're trying to get. It's going to feel like eternity. It's going to feel so far away, like you can never touch it, but you can always see it off in the distance. And this is where our belief has to transcend our reality. Even when the mind lies and says that life's not for you, it's for everyone else. And even when your fears talk louder than your faith, don't listen. Because happiness is what this life is supposed to be experienced as. And a long time ago, there was a lot of esoteric manipulation there was a lot of fuckery and trickery that happened. But the thing is we have now since ascended. And because we've ascended, our mind, which has been through so much of the very difficult shit that we've experienced, is embedded with beliefs based off of fear systems, based off of lies and manipulation. But those of us who've achieved this ascended state of being, who's multi-dimensionally ascended into a higher state of frequency and dimensional reality, or on the way up even, the main thing that the message has been is our mind has to catch up to it. It's not that we haven't already done it. We've done it. We've made the leap. We've done the shift. But the mind is still trying to catch up to it because we've been through so much shit, so much trauma, so much hard, so much everything I've already mentioned. The bridge that I'm being shown to the message is we've got to transcend the belief subconsciously and consciously that we're still in 3D and in all of this hard, heavy density, and flip it. Like, not even like try to reason or rationalize your way through it, but just flip it. I am already there. I do deserve to experience all these good things. It is already here for me. It's literally like a shift, like a mental flip that we have to do. It's almost like, one more piece. It's almost like the comfort zone is the illusion. We're so used to things being so difficult that it became a comfort zone for a lot of us. And now it's like the divine is like, but you don't have to do that anymore. Like, this is all here for you. And we're like, yeah, but what if, and all the things that we're scared of. But now it's literally like we just have to reach up and then there we are. Like, the only dark place that exists now in the higher reality is only within the confines of our mind. But that's a good thing, because that means it's not real. Transmission over and out.
What they're saying to me is that every time you'll rise, when you're tired, you'll rise. When you're bruised, you'll rise. When you're low, you'll rise. It doesn't matter how life is meeting you, you will rise from it. But the thing that has to be restored is faith in yourself. I feel like those that are going to come across this or are coming across it now, they are quick to place belief in other people, sometimes straight away, because they can see the potential in other people, but they don't place it within themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is this idea of, if it wasn't for me, I wouldn't be here, like in a hostile way. Like, it's my fault that I've gotten into this mess in the first place, kind of thinking. And it's like, why would I want to believe in that? Why would I want to place belief in that? And they've placed their value on that whole demeanor, and it is getting in the way of you seeing the worth that has always been instilled within you. It was here way before you were born. It walked through life with you when you was crawling, when you learned to walk, when you learned to run, when you learned to hop and jump and step into the world. It's always been within you. It is not something that has had to be earned. It's not something you have to prove. It's not something you have to give away. It's not something that can be stolen or broken or bruised. The only thing that makes you question your worth is your mind and the limiting beliefs that you have allowed other people to stamp on you. The value that you have allowed them to stamp on you. And you based your whole self-worth on that value. But what you don't see is they placed your value low so that they could place theirs higher, so that they could manipulate you, so that they could control you. When the truth is, they always saw your worth. That is why they manipulated you. Because you had something that they couldn't touch, that they couldn't take from you unless they got in your mind enough to convince you that you wasn't worthy. They needed to break you down to the point where when you saw your worth, it was only what the little tiny breadcrumbs that they instilled within you. So they became your world because they wanted to feed off you. It was their way of getting your shield down to get underneath it so they could take from you. Because who this resonating with, you have this incredible essence about you that not many people have.
You just described everything my ex-husband did.
And it has felt too much in this world. It has felt like you've been carrying this big weight on your shoulder. Sorry. It has felt like if you really, it's almost like this sensation of your worth being too big to carry because you got so used to carrying less. You got so used to carrying everyone else's. You've gotten so used to literally carrying everyone else's weight on your shoulders. And it's like, okay, if I've got to carry myself too, then how am I ever going to lift myself up? And the answer to that is by putting down the people that you still insist on carrying, even though they are way out of your life. Just because at one time in your life, they was your map of the world. Even at one time in your life, they was your whole world. But it's like it's time to put that down because your pain from it is not a scar that you need to have in order to remind you not to trust again. Because the universe wants you to trust. The universe wants you to surrender. The universe wants you to be who you are and to know what you truly deserve. Because the life that you have been living is a fraction of the life that you truly deserve. You deserve to flourish. You deserve to shine. You deserve to stand in your light and your truth and unwavering joy that no one can convince you that you don't deserve. So just because you have been through hardship does not mean that hardship is you. You are not your pain. You are not the suffering. You are not the bruises that you try to cover up to face the world. You are something so beautiful, and you deserve to see that within yourself.
That was beautifully put. I really want to touch on two things that you said. The first thing is something that I had spoken on in a podcast episode. I don't remember how far back. And it was the message on those who have been hard on themselves and quick to judge others who feel like God or feel like divinity and truth before trusting themselves, and the feeling of not having that same level of trust within their own soul and intuition and heart as their own internal navigational system being primary source instead of everyone else. And that I touched on that when I said that I was channeling when I said it, but it's that oftentimes what happens for people is they can tend to get lost in the in-between. Like, our higher self guides us into certain situations most of the time. And we're meant to listen with our heart and in our intuition to get into that situation so we can either learn something, experience something. Sometimes it's karmic resolution that has to happen between you and that person, or your soul wants to experience a specific line of work and then it doesn't work out and you're like, well, why did I even feel guided to go into that if it wasn't, going to work out, or all the stupid stuff was going to happen or whatever. Or relationships that absolutely go to shit, whatever it is. And that's where it can sometimes, people can get lost in the translation or in the transition, because what happens is they then feel like, okay, why am I being guided to go into these situations that keep going downhill, keep ending up shitty, keep learning the same lesson, keep experiencing the same stressful things? The answer is very multifaceted, but to simplify it, your higher self, when you're actually tapped into your soul and you listen to your heart, guides you into things for a reason. If we can learn what it is we're meant to learn from it, if we can experience what we're meant to experience from it, and if we can get to the point where we can transcend whatever that energy is in the situation, whether it's a karmic repatterning, whether it's, like friendships stuff that we've talked about where, we've tried to figure out, like, well, why would I even go towards someone that wasn't really for my highest good? But the thing is like they were for our highest good in the moments that they were, for as long as
they're making.
And so it's not, and so what people really need to start understanding more from all of this is, you don't doubt yourself just because things don't go absolutely perfect and everything is just wonderful rainbows, unicorns, and butterflies. you're supposed to go through these things for a reason. You're supposed to learn something from the experience. Sometimes, as I said, there is a karmic a resolution that needs to come from past life stuff. I mean, there's so many different reasons of why things happen. But if you felt in your soul to do the thing, then trust it, because you're supposed to experience it for a reason. So this is how, when we can come to understand this on a deeper foundational level and in our core, we can start to heal and repair that distrust that those of us who developed that wound around trusting our internal guidance system and our soul and intuition. Because if once we come back to a place of trust within ourselves, we can still listen to other people who are bringing divine messages through, but what's here will matter first, and it will matter most.
It
And
also
that's
helps
so important.
sorry, I don't mean to cut you off,
No, you're
but
good.
it also helps to put down the sense of responsibility. Like sometimes when people have been through really trying situations in their life, they blame themselves. But when they come to that understanding that even their pain was their making,
Mm-hmm.
it helps them drop that and to stop blaming themselves, which then ignites that seed within them again to start to flourish. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Please
Yeah, I
carry
do.
on. Sorry, I just needed to say
No,
that.
don't be sorry. Speak whenever you feel you need to. I'm still having like the most intense pain in the center of my head. The other thing is on the other side of when we can get to a point where we finally feel like everything is going to be okay. Like maybe we have actually overcome the crazy, hard, difficult, deeply impactful things that we've gone through. And suddenly you don't have those same worries and doubts and fears, and you're looking towards more like, instead of feeling like you're in survival mode all the time, you're suddenly realizing like, oh, I can actually just work towards my goals now, and I can focus on healing, and I can just focus on being okay. Like, what does that even look like or feel like? Those of us who are here to do the planetary work that we're here to do and reach many are now entering into this new phase, because we have ascended to where we're kind of like, what does that even mean? Like, what does that even look like? What do you mean I don't have to fight every day anymore? What do you mean I'm not going to still be dealing with all this crazy traumatic nonsense? Like, and so now we're having to retrain our brain and our nervous system and our bodies. Like, what does real peace look like? What does just healing and being okay and focusing on achieving positive things look like?
And what does joy look like? What does it
Right.
truly feel when you're not trying to grasp hold of every second that you have of joy before it's ripped away from you again? But
Right.
it's like when you're in that space, you're like, okay, my hands aren't slippery this time. I can hold joy, and joy is here to stay.
Right.
And it can bring up feelings of feeling terrified of joy, or doing something wrong, you're gonna break it, you're gonna lose it. But
Fucking scared
the
every second.
more
And being fucking scared every second you're happy. You're like,
yeah,
what's
and
going to
then
happen?
the more you hold on to it, and the more you ask joy to prove itself to you, and the more you let it in, the more it shows up, and the more you trust it, and then joy becomes a part of you again.
I feel like we're going to have to, this is so loud. We're going to have to literally do it ourselves and also teach PTSD healing for all of the people, all of our light workers that have been through the freaking ringer. Because literally, like, most of us don't even know how, like, I feel like we're all learning as we go. We're
We
all on
are.
a,
We don't
yeah.
stop. We don't stop learning.
But I mean, like, specifically on the, we're like, we just made it. Like, we were pushing through the dimensions the whole time. We were like, okay, we're ascending, we're ascending, we're ascending. And now we're actually like, we just made it to the other side. And we're all just looking at each other like, holy shit, we're here. Oh my God.
This is what it feels like to feel alive. Like,
Uh huh. Literally.
because when you're stuck under all the layers, it's like, it's almost like you feel dead inside
Mm-hmm.
and you don't quite know how to get out of it again. And when you're depressed and feeling everything at once, it's like that feeling just expands and it gets heavier. But it's like when you have burst through it after doing the work and having the patience in yourself, when you've burst through it, it's like, oh my God, oh my God. And when you finally are proven that it's going to stick around and you trust life again, it's like you finally actually get to live.
Mm-hmm.
But there is like a sense of grief that comes with it because you look back and you're like, all those years. But like Spirit's been saying through us, is that those years were valuable too, you know? So it's
Mm-hmm.
not wasted time. There is this big misconception because it all counted. Every single second of it was your making. And
I feel like that
now,
part's so important.
yeah, and now you just get to, when you've gotten through it, you get to really be the creation as well as being made. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I always say we are the creator and the created and the creation.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel we need to make a video with that exact saying that you just said. The same energy, same sentiment of every single step, even if it was hard, even if it was difficult, even if it was extremely painful, even if it was abuse, that all of it was a part of the version of us that's been created this entire time. And it's like I was channeling to you the other day, a couple of different days, when it kept coming through to me, like when I said, remember how we got to where we are now,
Mm-hmm.
and it was through all the difficult things that we experienced. That if we hadn't gone through that, if we were just comfortable and complacent, then how would we have really evolved into the form that we are now?
Absolutely. And I think we was talking, without saying too much, but I think we was talking in context of wanting to help someone out of their darkness, but
Mm-hmm.
also knowing that you're not meant to take it from them because that is their making. You know,
Exactly.
that is a hard lesson to learn as a light worker, when you're meant to help and when you're not meant to.
Right.
Like, you're not meant to go around saving everybody. that person's making is saving themselves, because the power and the realizations and the learnings and the soul lessons that are coming from that is a gift that they need. And to take that from them is taking all of those valuable things away. So you have to know when to let go and allow them to walk that themselves.
That's also something that I've seen with, there was a story, it's coming to me. I don't know if I remember the full story, but I remember it was a monk, and there was a man, and he had come across a snake, and the snake was being attacked by something, and the man wanted to help the snake, and so he was like trying to fend off whatever it was that was attacking the snake. And then the snake went after the man, and the thing that was attacking the snake went after the man. It was like this whole mess. And the man kind of backed away, and he was like, but I want to save the snake. And the monk talked to the man, and he said, every living piece of creation experiences things for their own soul's path of their incarnation. And there is something that the snake took the actions to put itself in that predicament to experience the thing that it did for whatever the purpose of its own soul's evolution. And he said, even in death, we must respect the dharma of all creation. And he said that if the man were to interfere with the process of what it was experiencing, the snake was experiencing, that he could then potentially disrupt the dharma of the snake and then offset things in like, and then it could like backlash onto him and it's like spiritual because he interrupted. So he wasn't helping because he felt like divinely led. He was helping because he had compassion, but he had gone against his heart. His heart said that it was the flow of nature and it was what, like, he needed to respect that. But his impulse was he wanted to go and do something, but then it was like it was not working how he wanted it. But anyway, I've thought of that story many times. It's come to me from my guides when I've seen people, like homeless people. It's always been really hard for me because I always want to help all of them, you know, but there are times when my soul says, don't, leave it. And I go, well, what do you mean? No, they're hungry. They need something. They need money. Do something. And they'll say, and I'll get the guidance. Leave it alone. That is their journey. And every time I've tried to go beyond that, it does not work out.
No.
So there's something to be said about respecting the Dharma and the journey of others, even if it means I'm seeing my oldest son.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard when it's people that you, especially your own child.
Oh. You know I know that one. Jesus. Like, as a parent, especially being a very powerful being, that can help so many people in so many ways.
Hmm.
Being a parent and wanting our kids not to go through certain things and just wanting to fix them. Not that they're broken, but wanting to help them out of love.
Right.
But then knowing that they are meant to walk their path. So getting to the point where you're understanding and finding the bridge between the two and the balance is quite difficult. Lord.
It's beyond, it's so difficult. Sorry, I was trying to share the live out. It's extremely difficult, and it can be very frustrating because we are, I'm going to join your live so I can do this. Okay, there we go. Because well, we've talked about this some. To abbreviate, whether or not someone is a bigger level soul or a healer or whatever anybody is, it doesn't take away from anyone. It's just that when you've walked the kind of path and soul journey that we have, we've come to understand so many things on a core root level. So we understand, like, we can co-create, we can consciously manifest, we can do all these things that can change the course of our children's life and path and everything. And all of that is absolutely a gift, and I'm grateful for that. But that's where the real self-mastery comes in, is deeply learning how to respect and honor the soul's journey. And Gabriel has told me, my oldest, he's told me so many times, even recently, he's like, he's been thanking me more since the healings that have happened. He's been much more clear-minded, but he has also said, Mom, I need you to not try to live my life for me. I need you to respect my life, and this is my path, and I have my own choices. And I'm like, okay, I hear you and I respect him, but then I'm realizing, like, okay, he's autistic. He has like all these things that he's healing too. So I'm like, he just started college yesterday. Okay. And I'm thinking, like, does he even have the conscious wherewithal to know, like, is he going to get on the bus? Is he going to space out? Is he going to make sure he gets off where he needs? And I can't micromanage it. I can't. And I want to. I do. I'm not going to lie. I really do. I want to make sure every moment he's okay.
Just want to wrap your babies in cotton wool, don't you? Just like, there you go. Nothing bad can ever happen to you, Like, I'm
frozen
really
on here.
used to beat myself up for some of the stuff that me and my children have been through in the past, because
Yeah.
I wanted them to have the perfect life and no trauma. Okay, Julia, thank you for watching, love. Sorry I haven't been responding to your comments very much, but it's nice to have you here, babe. But yeah, so you want them to have no trauma and give them a perfect existence, especially when you have been through a lot of trauma. Like, I speak as a survivor of childhood abuse, even as well as many other things, as you know, Hope. But so I wanted to make sure that my kids didn't have to go through any of that, and they didn't, because I've become this incredible mother. But also a lot of struggles that happened in my life, being a single parent, and situations that we have had to navigate through. In the past, there's been a lot of guilt because I didn't want my children to even experience that. But what I'm realizing is that what they have experienced during their life, even as children, it is part of their path.
Yes.
So
hard as it is for us to accept that.
yes,
And it is hard.
absolutely. Like I'm realizing, so it's like that realization in itself helps the guilt to go, because it's like, okay, oh, it wasn't my fault. Okay, that's their endurance that they're meant to walk through to become. Sorry, I didn't mean to cover the mic up.
You're good. I can't hear you. I think you muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Must have pressed the button.
This microphone has a mute button too. And I one time was recording a podcast episode and I literally pressed mute. So part of the episode was muted. There's like, and it's not even like a button. It's like a touch thing. And I didn't notice, and I was like, oh my God. So I had to like cut out a whole section of the podcast because of it. It was so ridiculous. So it happens. At least it wasn't something like that. Okay, there we go. That is so funny. Every time I'm going to this page, it's saying Arcturus Galaxian.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
I've had to take it off because I don't know what's going on with it. But yeah, sorry about that, guys.
Technical issues. Technical difficulties.
I think it's really, getting back to what we were saying, is I think it's really important that a lot of parents understand that even though their kids have been through troubling times because of things that they've experienced while raising them, like they need to understand that even that, it's not wrong. It's not, you haven't failed. You haven't let yourself down or let the divine down or let them down. It is something that the divine had put in your path to walk through. And in turn, they was meant to walk through it too and see you walk through it. So in hindsight, like a lot of struggle that I've been through, I now know that my kids were meant to see me survive that so that they can have that reference and know that it's possible.
Yeah.
So there actually being so many learnings that the children have had from those experiences that they need in their later life that is important for their soul. So really letting go of the blame as a parent. As parents, we are so quick to blame ourselves. Of course, it's the parents' fault. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but when all the while we have just been out here living and loving our babies the best we can and walking them through the time that we get to spend together that is fleeting of them being a child, walking them through that and protecting them and nurturing them. We've been doing it the best we can. So why carry guilt when the divine obviously chose you to be their parent? So the divine obviously knew that you had something to instill within them, and that's why you was trusted with their soul. So what many would think of as a mistake or letting them down is actually you doing exactly what you're meant to do in the time that you are guiding them, the time that you are here. and you're simply just walking through life together and growing together.
What would you, I'm being guided to ask you, what kind of affirmation or what kind of work or something that you could give to parents, including myself, and maybe parts of you that need it too, to heal and absolve the guilt that we carry as parents with all of these things that our children have experienced that we didn't want them to.
I'm just trying to understand the question. So what do you mean, what kind of affirmation?
Is there anything that comes through through you, on what you would give to a parent, to kind of a message or some sort of anything that you might have done for yourself, or anything that comes through on working on healing the guilt that a lot of parents, like I said, including myself, do have with all the things that our children have gone through?
I feel like it's really important to know that it's not too late to give your children the life that you always wanted to give them. It is not too late, even now, because I feel, I mean, from my own experience, I finally burst through the other side of
Have
healing,
you?
and I'm still healing every day, but I finally burst through the other side of things, and it's like, so this is what it's like to actually live, and I'm having these experiences and so much joy returning to my days and learning what my needs are and how to look after myself and making myself a priority. And I'm learning all of this, and I'm finally living the life that I've wanted to live that I never got a chance to. And a lot within me at one point was like grieving, like not grieving the past, but grieving the time it bit out of my kids' childhood. Not that I wasn't a good mum in survival mode. I was an incredible mother in survival mode. But there was so much of me as a mother that I was not able to be because of the intense struggle that I was in for a majority of my life. So when I broke through the other side and started living for myself, and finally is like, okay, I think I'm making it. Okay. I've looked at how old my kids are,
Yeah.
especially my oldest. And it's like, holy crap, like he'll be an adult in a few years. Like, it's too late. But what Spirit is saying to those that need to hear it is that it is not too late. Even if your child is an adult,
Yeah.
it is not too late. You are still here. You can still give to your child the way that you always wanted to.
I
But
mean,
it's
my
important,
situation. Sorry.
yeah. But it's important to allow yourself the space to.
My situation is living proof of that, with my oldest being 20 now. And we're just now, like literally just now, starting to have a chance to actually like come together and heal the way that we needed to, because all the other shit is like now mostly all out of the way. I'm trying to see if there's a way I can switch over to my phone so that it doesn't keep freezing, because it's freezing because we're on my computer, but it's okay. I thank you for saying all of that. I needed to hear it too. And I feel too like that there's something important that a lot of parents need to hear, and that is that we really do need to learn how to forgive ourselves, because even though, like, you know, maybe we did things or made choices or decisions that we look back and we're like, why did I make those things a priority over my children? Like, even when it comes to relationships, like for me, I had so much spiritual manipulation going on in the past that I remember thinking like, I want to put my children at the forefront. Like, I want for like me to focus on my healing and for me to put my children at the absolute center of everything. And I would make chore charts and I would like try to have all these routines, and I did all this stuff on organizing the whole house, and we did all like try to organize activities to do together and family nights and all kinds of stuff. And it felt like no matter how hard I tried, it was just sabotage all the time. And it was just like, it just felt so hard to like accomplish any of the things that I wanted to accomplish. And I would do like, I would go to the dollar store and I would get like this big giant poster board, and I would hand write like morning routine. This is what you do in the morning, and then when you do these things, you get stars, and you put the stickers on the calendar, and then you get a prize. And I bought a bunch of prizes, and it just felt like no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't seem to accomplish it in a long-term sense because of all the stuff that was happening. And it just felt like life was lifing way too hard. And it was like all the stress that would pop up all the time. And I feel like, a lot of times parents have good intentions and they want to do all these good things, but we do have to actually give ourselves grace when it comes to, we're trying, like we are genuinely trying, and we're trying to do the best we can. And sometimes life just has felt previously so hard, so challenging just to even function the right way, the way that we want to every day, let alone learn what it feels like to take good care of ourselves and give all of our attention and time to our children, and somehow get all of our work done and take care of the house and make sure the bills are paid and whatever, all the things. And so I really feel that, especially moms, like we need to have parents understand that it is okay that you didn't do everything perfect the first time around, and it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to feel grief over all the things that you wanted to be different and ended up a lot harder than you wanted them to be. And our children are thankfully very resilient and very, very much aware of what they signed up for, even though they're little.
Yeah.
And we want to shield them.
One thing that a lot of parents don't take into account is that when our kids are growing up, we're growing up too. You don't just grow up from a child to an adult and then that's all the growing up you do. You're growing up every year that you are alive, every day that you're alive. So just like you wouldn't turn to a child who is still learning about the world and shame them, you shouldn't do the same for yourself, because you are literally growing up while you're raising them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like that's everyone.
Absolutely.
Even people who don't feel like it applies to them in some way, we are all also learning what adulting means. And there's a lot of shame around that. Like, there's a lot of shame that has been built into being childish or immature as a parent. And it's like, there's two parts to that for me that I see. Like, one is like embracing your inner child is so important for your own healing. and realizing that your inner child's going to be with you forever. I mean, haven't we seen old men acting like 6-year-olds?
Yeah.
And
And
and the second part is we just have to understand that it's okay. We just have to understand that just because we're 18 doesn't mean that we suddenly become this mature in our physical self. We don't just suddenly become this mature, wise, experienced old being.
absolutely.
I became a mom at 19. I
Did
was
you?
still a teenager.
I was 22, and I think that that's young. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's 20.
It is young. 22
Doesn't,
is young.
yeah, but it doesn't seem young at the time because you're like, oh, I'm grown. Like,
Well, because of how old our souls are, we wanted to grow up. We wanted to hurry up and be an adult because we didn't want the people that were in charge of us to be in charge anymore.
yeah, totally. But yeah,
But then we got there and we're like, oh shit, I gotta pay bills.
damn it.
I gotta work.
Damn it. Be careful what you wish for, right? Like, Jesus. But yeah, I I would love to be on longer, but I'm gonna have to go soon because it is like 2:30 a.m. here, so getting quite
You need to get
tired.
some sleep.
But
I clicked on mine.
this has been really beautiful sharing this space with you. Thank you for being a part of it and co-creating this space with me, Hope.
Thank you.
And thank you to
I'm
everyone that's watching or is going to
grateful.
watch on the replay. We're grateful for you showing up and being here in this space and taking what resonates. And we really deeply hope that it helps guide you through what you're going through.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on with me today. You know as well as I do how much it took to get here.
Trust me.
So, with that being said, it is an honor to do this work with you. And I'm grateful for you every step of the way. And thank you to everyone who showed up today and everyone that will watch this later on. I pray that it resonates. I pray that you receive what you need from it. And I wish you absolutely the most beautiful, love-filled healing journey moving forward because we all truly deserve it.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Bye.